You ready to learn how to make some heart-shaped earrings? Great to gift, great for Valentine's Day, and so on, to show some love to your loved ones. Let's go. For these earrings, you're going to need some hemp cord or cotton cord around 1 millimeter thick. Obviously this is too much, but you get the gist. You'll need some nice sharp scissors. To finish off the edges of your heart, you're going to use this GS Hypo Cement glue. It's amazing, dries really clear. And for attaching your earring studs, so if you make one pair, you will need 2 of them. So to attach these, you're going to need some E6000 plus glue or any other glue that's strong and dries transparent. And I just use a regular toothpick to attach the glue. And let's get started. First, start out by cutting 6 strings of around 20-25 centimeters. Should be enough. It's always, for macrame, it's always good to have a little bit extra so that you have the extra cord to tie the last knots. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tie these together, all 6, and pin it to your surface. I'm just using a styrofoam board. Here we go. We have 6 strings there. Then cut 2 more, but a little bit longer this time, around 30-35 centimeters. And we're going to start with one of those. So fold in half your longer cord and find the middle. Now this middle will need to attach it somewhere here on your board. You could either pin it through the cord. I find it a little bit fiddly, so I'm just going to make a super simple temporary knot here. And more or less, so the middle part is somewhere here. So this cord here is our filler cord for the first 3 knots. And we can number these cords here, the shorter cords, from 1 to 6. 1 being the leftmost, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And place your filler cord on top of the first 3 working cords and take your number 1. And we're going to start making clove hitch knots. Clove hitch knots, I cannot pronounce it. It's also called double half hitch, so maybe I'll use that, it's easier. In case you've never done macrame before and you need to learn the clove hitch knot technique, you can check out the video that should be on the screen right now. But I'm also going to show you here the first knot quite slowly. So your working cord is underneath your filler cord, and you wrap your working cord on top and below your filler cord. So you wrap your working cord around the filler cord, put it somewhere there. We tighten the first half, so that's called a half hitch. And now we repeat the same thing. So working cord goes over the filler cord, around, and this time there's a loop and it'll go through the loop like that. And then we're just gonna tighten it. The first one might be the most difficult one because there's no other knot to like lean it onto, but that's about it. Tighten it really well. And then we'll do the same thing with number 2 and number 3. Over, under, like that, tighten, over, under, tighten. Make sure your filler cord stays straight inside the knots. One more. And another one. Alright, that's our first 3 knots. Then we'll need to repeat the same procedure on the other side, and we'll need our other longer cord for it. So take your second 30 centimeter cord, and we'll need the middle point pinned roughly around here. And then we'll repeat exactly the same procedure on this side as we did here, but this time your clove hitch goes the other way. So these ones, they're facing this way, and this row is facing towards the left. It's the same knot anyway. So So over, under, and through. But as you can see, we're going to the left this time. We're starting on the right. Okay, second one, over, under. Now this time it goes through the little loop, and we'll tighten it. So this was your working cord number 6, and then we do 5 and 4. There, we'll tighten it right next to it. And the last one. Alright, your first, let's call it a row, is finished almost. We just need to close them in the middle here. So we're going to continue this row and use this one to create a 4th clove hitch to this row here. So same thing, over, under, and again over, under, and through the loop. Make sure that it's really close to the other knots, and we'll close it like this. So we have our first V prepped here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to unpin these cords, take out the temporary knots, there we go, and we're going to start filling our hearts. Let's renumber these cords now again. So this time these filler cords are going to come into the play, and they're actually going to like close our hearts. But for now, let's number them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other 5 on this side until 10, right? So take your cord number 2 on the left side, use that as your filler cord for another row of 3 clove hitches. So we're going to bend this left side of our heart a tiny bit, and then you take cord number 3 and you make a clove hitch around cord number 2. Go 1 and 2, then clove hitch with cord number 4 around 2, and 1 more with cord number 5. So you see, with all these 3 knots, I kept the same filler cord. All right, and now you guessed it, we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So this time we're taking the cord number 9, which is this one. I'm going to bend this one a little bit. Go. And this time we'll make 4 clove hitches with 8, 7, 6, and number 5. Now, final row. Again, we can renumber our cords. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so take number 1 as your filler cord and bring it on top of cords 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll make a clove hitch on all 4. Then take your cord number 10, so the rightmost cord, and bring it in front of these 5 on top of them, and we'll do another row of clove hitches left facing this time. And there we go, our little heart is done. Next thing you do is putting some glue. Let's open this. There we go. And since this is I'm using hemp cord, I can't obviously burn the ends, which you might do with a polyester cord, so we're going to use this glue here. The most amazing bit about this glue is the tip. The tip is a precision applicator, and you just put it inside every single knot like this, and let it dry. In 15 minutes it would already be a little bit dried, but obviously for the best results I would wait overnight. But I would say at least an hour. I'm often not patient enough to wait an entire night, so I cut them after like an hour maybe. After you've finished the gluing, just make sure all your knots are tight. Tighten them a little bit more. Make sure that they're also pressed to the back like this. So once you cut them, you get nice smooth edges. Yeah. And then you just have patience and let it dry. Put it aside. Once your glue has dried, you can take your very sharp scissors and cut all the edges. All the cord remains. Cut really close. And then it might look a little bit like this. So you have some edges there. We'll just push them in. You have the glue inside. It should not fray. Just push with your fingers to smooth out the edges. Here we go. Your little heart is ready. Then, I mean, I prefer personally this side, but the other side doesn't look bad either. So if you want to use that one as your front, you can. I'm going to use this one. Next thing we need is your earring back, your glue, and a toothpick. What we're going to do is take some glue onto the toothpick. Place it on top of your earring back. This glue, once it dries, it is super strong. There we go. And you have a lot of glue there. See how much I have? And I'm just gonna place it on my earring like that. Didn't go quite in the middle. There we go. Place it in the middle and let it dry. And here are the ones I made that are ready to be worn. You can see the glue a little bit at the back, and they're very cute. Hope you liked it.